Yeah, okay.
What was that?
Gonna get that waved off.
Okay, good.
That's a Lee Honish dive if I ever saw it. Straight left.
Okay.
I
think we're missing something here.
It's not enough to retire on, unless this is just a brutal right hand that's about to appear here in the last second.
Yeah, I bet you we didn't read too much about this fight. He might have dropped them.
Okay,
there's one.
But that wasn't even a real punch. I don't even know what that's about. Is he going to quit right here?
Yeah, he might. Why not?
He's up. He's up.
Look it up.
I'm good. No, I'm good. Yeah, no.
Huh? What are you going to do? You going to fight? What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, and he's going to get out of this round, right? Or are we going to knock him out before the round? Oh, boom. That was a good left.
No, bell's going to ring. He's going to quit.
Right, so I got to go one more round to see the ass whipping, huh?
No, he quits in the corner. This is it.
Oh, is that what it is? Now he quits in the corner. What a
he must have dropped. He must have dropped them 3 times in 3 rounds, and that's a good whooping by Lubin. Sorry, guys, we didn't really read up on that fight before
I didn't watch it till right now, and I'm not missing much. Okay, let's see the highlights of the knockdowns. I want to see why this guy retired. Let's see the knockdowns.
3 knockdowns in 3 rounds. That's pretty good ass whooping, though.
By Lubin?
Yeah,
I would have retired on the fact that I was just fighting Lubin and
in the empty arena. That kind of sucks, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked like Run DMC in the back.
It probably is. I like the matching purple. All right. Come on, Showtime. Now they go to the good camera. So we shot from the corner, but when he wins, we cut to the other camera. And we got a camera in the ring. So clearly there were cameras, Andrew. But why we were using the boom camera, I will never.
All right, here we go. Leave it.
Here we go. All right, let's see these knockdowns. Let's see what retired.
Should have just played this in the beginning.
All right. Okay, that's a bullshit punch.
Oh, my God. Look, and then he falls again.
Oh, I've fallen and I can't get up. Okay, that's a bullshit knockdown.
So sad.
I've fallen and I can't get up. And then the final one. Don't hit me anymore.
No,
Jack, stop the fight. I'm fine, Jack.
You retire. No, this is total retirement.
Yeah. Well, and that's officially what happened.
That's the end of Ishii Smith.
Eddie Mustafa Muhammad Smith's trainer instructed referee Jack Reese to stop the fight following the 3rd round because Ishii sucked balls.
Too much punishment? I'm going to say he didn't want to take any punishment. How about that? Like throwing the white flag.
Smith said, "Great shot. I never seen to recover. I never seen it I never seen it or recovered after all. No excuses." Yeah. Bullshit, dude. Everybody saw it in slow motion as it looped in and hit you. But I don't think it was that great a shot. How long before Ishii goes to jail?
That's so mean. I don't know. He's been a good guy. I
think Ishii's next thing will either be he'll have a Kickstarter to fund, or he'll commit a major crime.
I think what will happen is Al Heyman will put him in retirement for a year. He will find a new kid, I think, who's coming up here in a few stories that he needs to get some names on. And guess who's going to come out of retirement for a little $150,000 check? The PBC is great at this. So, no, I don't think Ishii Smith retired. They're going to put him away till people forget about this loss, and they'll bring him back and have him fight a stepping stone match.
What's he worth? What is Ishii Smith worth? Let's see if somebody's actually tracked this data.
That's so mean.
Oh, wow. Shocker. Mother of Ishii Smith's 3
I knew.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you, Google.
He's worth $3 million?
Hey, go.
How is that even possible? I mean, he killed his ex-wife, allegedly.
Oh, my gosh. No, he didn't. Begin current 2000. Yeah, that's the Al Heyman. That's the Al Heyman touch, maybe, Lee.
Dude, that's shocking.
And I tell you what, in a year, he will be back against some stepping stone, probably making $150K.
I say gun in the club. I like gunning the club for him. Maybe a sex video.
I will say, if anything, DUI, depression, hanging out at a bar. Maybe want something like this, but nothing violent. DUI is not good, but it's not a gun.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll have a bet on that, Lee.
Which takes us to the main card that started on Showtime at approximately 7 o'clock West Coast. Gervonta Davis defends his WBA super featherweight title with a thrilling, I don't know if I'd use the word thrilling. By the way, I'm reading the press release, people. Don't fault me on this. Thrilling first round technical knockout of Hugo Ruiz Saturday night in a frozen and bitterly cold Carson Center. Gervonta Davis defended his WBA featherweight world championship with a thrilling first round TKO over Hugo Ruiz. Let's start right there and I'll rewind. They do bring up that he came out to Michael Jackson's Thriller. So if you're listening to the audio of this, yep, that's exactly what that is at the beginning of the show, Michael Jackson's Thriller. I couldn't pass up having that as the audio clip of the day. Take me through this, Andrew. I mean, seriously, I don't even think that, I mean, in slow motion, it looks far more impressive than it actually is. But I guess we could watch the whole fight since it's only 2 minutes long. But Hugo Ruiz, first of all, came up to fight a guy who could barely make weight in this fight, Andrew.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's the biggest shocking fact in this whole thing.
And I believe we need to stop calling Gervonta Davis a hard worker in the gym because he's missed weight twice now, and he's only 5'5". It seems like he should be making the 130 division easily, Lee, when you're only 5'5". But for some reason, the guy's heavy every time. This was sad. And on the night, he was 141 plus pounds. Ruiz was only 134 pounds.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah. And it just seemed like he came fast. He came with hard punches right away. Look at Ruiz right here when the right hook lands. He boom, and then watch. He's like, I don't want none of this anymore. He's just going to go down. He's not knocked out. His legs didn't go out from under him.
He thought about it.
He looks at him. Don't hit me no more. I'm going down.
Right. He pulled an Oscar De La Hoya right there. Right on the knockout.
Lee, they called this guy 2 weeks ago and have him fighting a junior welterweight. And I know I don't like talking about that when it's a legit matchup. When you have two bona fide fighters, hey, wherever their weights go after the fight, that's fine. When you're fighting a replacement who's been knocked out 3 out of his 4 losses, and he's moving up in weight to fight you, come on. It's a no contest. It's a no-brainer. We shouldn't even be wasting our time. And I think the PBC is really going to hurt themselves if they continue this path that they've been doing of, give props to Abner Mares. His fans showed up. Did you hear the booing on Gervonta Davis before that fight? Yes.
Well,
that was
that's because they were all there to see a different fight.
Mares. Well, they were there to see Mares. So you can say Mares is still a ticket seller out there in Southern California. This was in Southern California, correct?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
L.A.
So all right. So yeah, it's just, but then they go there to watch a fight that, what was it, 4 punches, 5 punches, maybe the tops that he had to land. It's just a sad, and you see it way too much with the injuries. One of the worst things the PBC has going for them is how many guys are injured. In the beginning, everyone thought this was something Al Heyman did to shell fighters, just put it out there, he's going to be out a few months because of some injury, but it just seems like a curse that has not went away for this company. I mean, Abner Mares being the last victim, and then right before that, you got Manny Pacquiao fighting an easy fight against Adrian Broner, gets hit like under 80-something times, 85 times in a 12-round fight, yet he's injured, and they don't know what, if it's his knuckle or if it's something else. It's just, I don't know what's going on with the PBC, but it's something they need to get over really fast here, Lee, because it's starting to. I'm telling you what, not racing home to see replacements anymore. I love boxing to death, But last night, it's raining, it's pouring. I'm flying 7 o'clock, trying to get home by the main event to watch that. Seriously, come on.
Also,
watch Lubin versus Ishii Smith. Like, are you serious right now?
Well, okay, that might have been worthwhile. I
No,
mean,
it wasn't.
You get to see a legend like Ishii Smith.
Geez. No,
if you asked Ishii Smith if he was Hall of Fame caliber,
I don't give a damn. Yes. Yeah, I don't care, though. That's not my opinion, and that's why I didn't watch that fight. That's a bullshit fight.
Actually, Andrew, you just did.
No, not a live. I didn't watch it live, Lee. The next, keep going. Let's give some PBC some props here.
Really? We're going to give him props over the co-feature. Mario Barrios knocked out his 7th consecutive opponent with 23-year-old from San Antonio, stopped Mexico's Richard Zamora. Stoppage came at 2:16 in round 4 as referee Ray Corona waved off the fight after a barrage of Barrios punches. Again, typical PBC mismatch. It looked like a mismatch, Andrew. He looked like 3 human beings bigger than... I mean, this is a typical PBC formula. Get your top guy to fight a guy who's 3 weight classes below him.
Also has been knocked out in every defeat that he has on record. But I liked Barrios. Barrios is young. He's undefeated. I liked his combinations, his height. There's something there. Barrios is the perfect fighter that I'm telling you is going to save people like an Adrian Broner. You know, everyone says, oh, Broner's done. No, Broner's not done now. There's not done now that you got this kid, Mario Barrios, coming up from San Antonio. Oh, you put him and Broner in the Dallas Stadium when everyone's there to see Barrios, he's going to sell tickets. Bro, that's all Broner does. Just let him talk. Just talk. Just be Broner. And so, no, I like this kid. I hope Al Heyman fights him a little bit more than everyone else that he manages. But, yeah, I was very impressed with Barrios' performance last night.
Which takes us to the opener that Andrew happily missed but went back and rewatched it. Javier Fortuna won a unanimous decision over Pick My Nose Booger in a 10-round lightweight bout. All 3 scored the fight 96-93. The Southpaw Fortuna looked just like the old Southpaw Fortuna, except this time he didn't have to dive out of the ring to stop the fight, Andrew. He was able to come back in the second half of this fight. I watched it along with the FNR regulars on chat. None of us seemed to enjoy the fight whatsoever and found it a lot like chewing on glass for 10 straight rounds. I was actually watching Overhaul at the same time and found Overhaul on the Motor Trend Network far more compelling than this fight.
Sloppy fight, mismatch. Fortuna was too tall, too much of a reach. Booger. Booger, that's so mean.
He's the same dude who does the ESPN commentary, right? Walks the sideline. Booger.
He was just too small. He couldn't get inside. He got frustrated and started cheating. And it didn't help him because he was the one that kept getting cut. And then his cut got bigger and he kept using his head and he kept using forearms. He wanted to land anything on Fortuna that he could. So you know, it was an easy win, but look, Fortuna has stepped up in opposition twice. Jason Sosa and Robert Easter Jr., both Robert Easter, former champ. Sosa fought for a title, I believe, twice in his career now. They're not the best of the best, right? They're not the top of the division, yet they both have wins.
PBC formula. Just keep padding records. Keep calling out fighters that you know you're never going to be able to fight. I mean, after this, Fortuna called out everybody in the weight class above, everybody in the weight class below. I'll fight top-ranked guys. I'll fight a boat with a goat. I'll eat the green eggs and ham Sam I am. Which, you know, we're going to talk about this in a second. This is a standard formula to PBC fighters, right? Call out people you know that you can never get a fight with.
HBO does a pretty good job of doing that too for them. I mean, Showtime, excuse me.
Well, Showtime, here's the shitty part about Showtime, and it was really clear on that telecast. First of all, if they have to feel like they did in this fight, don't allow Mauro near a microphone. I mean, I give Mauro a hard time, but as a play-by-play guy, he's pretty straightforward. But when they have to, what we